Hey, look who it is. Step Brothers in town. Frazier Friday, Braun, Toddfather, Kratz, all the pretty neon lights behind Toddfather. By the way, those lights light up with different teams that Todd played for.
Oh,
Fun fact.
Neato,
I forgot to put the cage all the way up. That's on me.
Okay.
That's on me.
That's nitty gritty, though.
We're
That's
gonna get it up in the next 5 minutes.
Oh.
Magically, I promise.
Okay.
Magically.
I'd like to see it happen during the show. So we'll see.
My biscuit.
One question from a fan. I forgot your name. I'm sorry. I was looking back. I copy-pasted it somewhere, but I'm unorganized, and I apologize. But this fan basically wanted to know from you guys where the line is, because he said if you get to a game a little bit late and you want to enjoy the experience and then it's 2 hours, 20 minutes, he's like, I feel like I'm being shorted a little bit lately.
It's like somebody said that when they instituted the pitch clock. I want faster games. I want faster games.
Listen.
Get there earlier.
Just start a half hour earlier.
Batting practice is fun. Get there for that.
That's a blast.
They don't let you in for the home team batting practice.
Yeah, they always – it seems to be like the last 30, 40 minutes of the visiting team. But
so you get to watch Group 3 hit? Nobody wants to watch Group 3 hit.
What's the deal with that? Why can't people – because they don't want to open the gates early?
Ask the teams.
I don't know.
They don't want to open the gates.
More
Some
money.
extra fries.
More money,
A couple
man. What are they doing?
brewskis. I don't know why they don't open it. I mean, probably you got to pay people different when it's open.
Hourly, probably,
Yeah,
for some of the employees, so they don't want it open because they're not making enough.
BP is awesome.
I
I'm going to
agree.
a game on Monday, and I have field passes for BP.
Which
I
game?
still love watching it. Pirates Nationals. Paul Skeens
wow.
Day.
That's beautiful.
Let's do an average time. I know a lot of games are in the 6s now, but let's
Yeah.
say it's a 7 p.m. game. What time should the gate be open if we didn't have to worry about hourly wages
7
for
p.m.
employees?
game. I would say 4:45 because they're stretching 4:20ish. I would say 4.
I was going to say 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30, 4:45.
Okay.
Because
Then you get the full
you
experience.
get the full experience.
You see the home team come out. They're all ready. You don't need to see them do their eye wash stretch because they've already loosened up inside. And then you see Group 1 whack it.
Or 4 o'clock because listen,
Yeah,
you got to get in, you got to get to your seats, and you got to enjoy it. And not only get that, get a gut dart, get a dog, maybe get a brew,
Tube steak.
watch your kids try and catch balls while you're sucking down a root beer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In left field.
What do you like on your hot dog?
Mustard, ketchup.
Same. A little sauerkraut or no?
Yeah, I mean, if it's good sauerkraut, but
I
I don't need it.
Scotty?
I'm not a hot dog guy,
I
but
forgot. Sorry.
I mean, I like burgers.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be neat.
Yeah,
What are you gonna put
I'm
on
not going to tell you. Let's move on. It's not like anything bad. It's just I'm very plain. You know, ketchup, lettuce, tomato, pickles. That's not that bad actually. Watch party Monday. Next one we're doing Monday, not Wednesday. Monday.
Not Paul Skeens Day.
Yeah.
No.
When does
No,
he
Monday.
pitch?
Oh, it is. Nice.
Is he pitching Monday?
He's lined up to pitch Monday.
Oh my God! I didn't even know that.
Wow.
I mean, one time. Look ahead.
that game will be 1 hour and 49 minutes long. No.
What a
supposedly looking ahead. Hopefully they don't push him back to Tuesday, but yeah, that'd be sick. Paul Skeens Day in Pitt.
Nice.
We're gonna have some special guests. It's gonna be a nerdier broadcast on Monday.
Sometimes you need
Lance
that.
Brozdowski, who
He does.
he can
does
slice
some good-
and dice with the
Yeah.
analytics, and
Throw some spin rate out there.
one or two from Baseball America, maybe a JJ Cooper cameo
Coop.
for some of that call.
That's
More
not nerd
information
out.
on Monday, but could be a good broadcast.
Coop's not a nerd.
He's a prospect nerd.
I would say
I like
guru.
that.
I would say
Prospect nerd.
guru.
Prospect nerd.
Guru.
Gurus are nerds.
Some nerds.
There's
can't
one thing
talk
you
to.
walk
I would
away
say
from
Coop's
today.
Not a nerd.
Let's hit some games. Better than box scores, the Atlanta Braves and Philadelphia Phillies played a game that took 38 hours. 5 hours, 39 minutes, and ended at 12:54 in the morning. They had a rain delay for 2 hours and 44 minutes. I was on the plane and I'm watching, and they're like, oh, it's going to get dicey. They both have to travel tomorrow. Rain looks really bad for hours. They'll probably figure something else out later. And I'm like, did you see what happened to the Braves last year with the whole rescheduling and having to play 2 games after the season ended and then go into the playoffs? And,
Against division team, too?
yeah, get pushed around. They're playing games. They're not trying to play games. They're playing games. Mm-hmm. So they did. They just waited a few hours, and it worked out for them because they got a little walk-off action, and they woke up the whole town, the whole county, all of Cobb County felt the horn for 8 minutes. That's a real thing. But 5 hours, 39 minutes, according to Bobo Nightingale, Marcell Ozuna walk-off homer, Kratz, and then real story, the horn that goes off, I guess, was broken or something. So people probably thought that it was World War III and they had to go in their bunkers.
7 minutes. 7 minutes at almost 1 o'clock in the morning that John was just like Jose Bautista.
Really, I tried.
Like
That
Jose
was
Bautista
really good.
hitting a homer. It's almost like the goal horn in hockey.
Yep.
And it just all those people had to get up for
I
work
can
the
listen to
next
that for
day.
days,
Me
though.
too.
Hey, that's absolutely.
He's like a sound machine.
That reminds me of when I was in the hotel last year in Connecticut, and the fire alarm was pulled every hour on the hour in the
Stop.
middle of the night.
That was like the fire alarm was pulled when we were in Puerto Rico.
Remember?
For Team Cuba.
Yep, they did
Team
it.
Cuba had a chance of, some people maybe escaping. Fire alarm got
Yes.
pulled. Everybody was all
Oh,
worried about
we
it
didn't
when
know
we
what
were
to do.
playing
That
Puerto
was
Rico.
insanity. But
Dan-
what are you going to do?
Danny Duffy came out with a Red Bull. It was like 2 in the
2
morning.
in the morning, just crushing a Red Bull.
Red Bull is in his cohitas. Are they called cohitas? The cigars? Cubans?
Cigarellas?
No, the Cuban cigars.
Cohiba.
Cohiba.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cohiba.
So that's what he brought out.
And he threw well that day. Didn't he pitch that day
Yeah,
too?
he did. He did good.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Speaking of which, Marcell Ozuna found the seats, souvenir. See you later. 2-run dinger, 4-2. Braves walk off. I mean, it's early in the season, but Braves need to get on the board a little bit here, and they did. Great pitching matchup to start, too, with Luzardo and Schwellenbach. What'd you like here?
No, his swing, it's just incredible to me. You think he's a really good hitter, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you see that sort of swing, you're like, that's not going to relate to the big leagues, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing. And his hands are just so strong. It seems like his top hand comes off the bat every time he swings, but he puts the barrel to the ball a lot of the times more than none. And this guy is just doing it. He had a double down a line 2 in the beginning to start the game off on a pitch that nobody should be able to hit. So it's like you see some sort of these swings and you're like, man, and I can't say much because my swing was unorthodox anyway, but some of these guys just get it, and they do. They need to get going here, and this is a big win, and people can be like, oh, they got lucky this because of rain. Now, this could kickstart a little run here for the Braves and get going. And Schwellenbach, oh, my God. What a guy. I mean, this guy's – before the game started, 14 innings scoreless to start the year off. This guy is going to be one of their back burners for years to come.
He's just picking up where he left off from last year.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing was the hit right before Ozuna's. Ozuna's going to do what he does, up and down, whatever. Your DH has to produce. Austin Riley nuked a ball to right center.
Yeah, he did.
And when he can go that way with heaters and breaking balls, it enables him to then hit that hanging breaking ball, the slower breaking ball, not like that cutter away, out to left. To me, I think when they lost him last year, that was a huge, huge hole to try to fill in their lineup. I get it. They lost Acuna. They lost Strider. They had a lot of losses. But I think this guy's underlooked in this lineup, and he was an MVP candidate 2 years ago.
Kind of.
He was there, and then he fell off a little bit.
People don't want to vote for bats only, besides Ohtani.
I get it. But I think he is a bigger piece to this lineup, being able to, because you think of Olsen. You think of what Ozuna did last year. You think of Acuna, obviously. And then Michael Harris is leading off. Albies, when he's healthy, he's out there. To me, I think Riley is a very important piece to this lineup. And to see him drive the ball to right center like that in a big situation to drive the run in, elevated pitches to the opposite field, elevated hits to the opposite field with runners in scoring position are luscious.
Yes, they are.
Help could be on the way. Spencer Strider might make his season debut next week.
Oh.
Punched out a casual 13 in 5 1/3 in his latest minor league rehab start with AAA, just wasting bullets. No, but in all seriousness, he didn't go through a spring training, so they want to get him up to now full speed here. He's at 90 pitches.
That's not wasting pitches. You're not.
No.
You cannot bring a guy up to the big leagues to rehab against a big league team and put him and your team. The Braves were kind of cooked last night. Had Schwellenbach not gone long, their bullpen was cooked. That's why I liked your over yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They needed length out of him. Now you bring in a Spencer Strider. He goes 25 pitches in an inning. You can't send him back out there. Now he's built up. It's not wasted. There are times when you have to bring guys up a little slower. It just sucks. The dude just went and dominated a AAA team. He's going to do that in the big leagues. Like there's going to be no change. It's not. Don't feel bad if you were on that team.
I mean, I'd feel bad. I'm trying to get up to the big leagues. This guy's carving me up. That's not cool.
You also look at
in AAA?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Everybody's like, it's a win-win.
Duh.
You're either like, oh, I struck out against Strider.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what's supposed to happen. I got to face him, or I got a dinger, or no, you're not going to get a dinger, but I got a hit off Strider.
I would always used to treat those games like, if I do good here, that they're going to see, like, all right, he's 100%. Major league ready. And guess what? I would be geared up when somebody had a major league rehab stint, and you're like, let's go. You know, it didn't matter who it was. It was Tim Hudson one time, and there was like, I'm like, come on, let's go. This is my day. Maybe an extra Red Bull that day. You never know.
2017, I had 6 at-bats against big leaguers rehabbing. And we always joked, big league baseballs, they go farther.
Yeah.
And they did. Like that year, I was 6 for 6 against the big league rehabbers. I had 6 at-bats against position players. 0 for 6.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Wear it, meat.
Yeah. Well, anyway, for Strider, it sounds like Brian Snicker, his manager with the Braves, is ready for him. He's like, it was exactly what we wanted to happen. You know, he got his pitches. He's ready. He almost was saying, like, bring him up now. He goes, I kind of feel like he's right where we want him to be before he gets here. Psst. Next start up here. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Acuna is still a few weeks away. But Strider, 2 runs, 27 strikeouts, and 13 2/3 innings in his 3 rehab starts, building up to that pitch count. So Braves get on the board. We will talk to Ken Rosenthal and get a little inside scoop. He's got a fresh notes column out in The Athletic this morning. We'll ask him about it. AJ, it is time for people to get some new clubs, and to do that, they need to go to their local PXG for a fitting, right?
No doubt. I was there today. I've been there before. Last time I was there, they gave me this killer gap wedge. Look at that sweet spot, Scott. It is worn out. That is right in the sweet spot right there. So I went and got new clubs today, new irons. But more importantly, I got this bad boy. I got me a new putter. This is my old putter. It's on order. Yes, that's my putter cover. PXG Mustang putter. Now I'm going to the Allen putter. They talked me into it because I was draining some putts today. Bob, the guy who helped me out, he helped me with my irons. He got them teed up perfectly, but then we went to the putting green. I was draining them putts because that's the most important part of golf.
PXG fittings are fun. Schedule your fitting today. As you can hear from AJ, for a limited time, you could save up to 20% on your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/foul. That's pxg.com/foul to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/FOUL. Restrictions apply. See site for details. We're back for a couple minutes before we get to Kenny Ballgame Rosenthal. I know we've talked about the Orioles a lot lately, but they're 5-8. They're last place in the AL East. It's all bunched up within a couple of games right now. There was a fan on Twitter who was like, the Orioles need leadership at the highest levels. This team hasn't faced adversity and overcome it. It's been one of the biggest weaknesses that the team has had since the 101-win season happened. It's time for overdue change in the org, blah, 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 blah. Steve Molesky, who covers this team, who's been on this show, said, I respect the opinion. I just decidedly don't agree with it. Since 2023, Dodgers lead with 208 wins. Orioles are second, 197.
They're
leadership issues.
Yeah. No. Do you see their schedule? I mean, see who the teams they played?
Also, it's 13 games. I mean, do they have a starting pitching problem? I think I talk about it every day.
Agreed.
Yes.
Do they have a hoarding prospects problem? Yes.
No, a lot of people actually have been responding and disagreeing with you, saying that most of those prospects have graduated and the system's not that good anymore.
They needed
Samuel Basayo's a G, but they're not trading him.
I said this 100 times last year and the year before. They needed to trade these guys.
But they did trade guys.
Well,
That's what people are saying.
Okay.
A lot of the Orioles fans are like, we did trade players and then we don't have that much left anymore.
I don't.
No, you don't have as much as you had.
Right. I agree.
Big difference.
The example here is
it wasn't
Kobe
good
Mayo.
if they did.
Kobe Mayo is the example because he is highly valued across the industry. So He was pissed when he got sent back down. He did not perform well in spring training. But if he was preventing you from getting a top-end starter, then a lot of people think that was a mistake. Let's hit the inside scoop with FT Senior Insider Ken Rosenthal. Ken, your notes column fresh out this morning. I think you saw it probably. I reply right away. I'm like, I was looking forward to a notes column. I love me a good Ken notes column in the Athletic. So let's start with the minor league park side of things and a little bit of what you wrote about there. Can you enlighten us?
Well, Scott, first of all, I appreciate those kind words. And yes, I wrote about mostly the A's park, Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento, and how there have been some home runs that have been hit with launch angles and exit velocities that do not usually result in homers. So there's an immediate concern there by some of the A's people that this place is going to play pretty small. And keep in mind, it's not even warm yet. So that's one aspect. Then Tampa Bay, you saw over the last couple of days what happened with the Angels hitting all those home runs. They had, 6 yesterday, 4 in one inning, 4 the day before. Now, the Rays weren't hitting as many home runs, but that park, which the Rays initially thought during their first homestand might not be the hitter's environment they expected, is now looking like it will be. And again, the weather has yet to turn really warm. So we're going to see how this plays out, but Major League Baseball in minor league parks, it's questionable, has been from the start.
What's the choice? What other choice do they have?
There's no choice.
They're in it.
No.
Yeah.
It was particularly for Tampa Bay, there's no choice. And that was the product of a natural disaster. The A's had a choice. They could still be in Oakland. They could still have gotten a stadium done in Oakland. There's a lot of things that could have happened. But this is where they are for now. And again, we'll see how it plays out. The statistical sizes are still too small to really make any huge judgment. But as I wrote, the A's are expected to call up a pitcher who's a sinker baller, JT Ginn, in the next day or two, maybe to join their rotation because he's a sinker baller and they're already thinking, we need guys like this.
Need the ball on the ground. It gets hot out there, so it's going to get warm too. But the other looming part of this, what about the playoffs? We haven't heard any plans of if either of these teams make the playoffs, because contrary to what maybe ownership is doing, the players want to win and the players want to make the playoffs. Is there any new leeway to say where they would play?
I haven't heard anything yet, Erik, and my guess is baseball feels that, listen, this is a problem we don't need to address just yet. It's not a situation where the playoffs start tomorrow. Now, if we get to September, even late August, and either or both of these teams are in contention, it's going to be a talking point, no doubt. And the question for the playoffs is not so much how the park would play, but capacity. These stadiums hold, 12,000 people or so, and the media areas are not very big at all, especially at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, from what I understand. So there are all kinds of issues that would arise if indeed these teams were in contention, but we're not there yet.
Ken, let's stay American League and talk Blue Jays. You wrote another article about what's next for them. So what do you think is next for them? And specifically, if you can mix in there, do you think there's a chance that Bo Bichette really happens? I felt like for a while, the thoughts were, this guy's going to free agency. Vladdy is the key target. It almost feels like they've got a little momentum now. And also, Bo probably recognized the size of the paycheck.
I would agree that maybe the chances of signing Bichette are higher than they were, 3 months ago. But it will take two to tango. And while both sides have said the right things, we'll see how it develops. I can't see it happening during the season because look at how long it took them to get Guerrero done. It seemed like forever. And it was years in the making. So I don't see Bo Bichette being this many months away from free agency just saying, hey, let's do it right now. Now, what could develop, and I mentioned this in the story, is that he's a shortstop at a time when most big market teams, most heavy spenders, are set at shortstop. Now, things can always change, of course. And the Braves are one team in particular that might be looking at shortstop in the offseason. And Bo Bichette, of course, Alex Anthopoulos would be familiar with him, although I think Bichette came after Anthopoulos was gone from Toronto. But regardless, the Braves could be one team. But what happens if Bichette doesn't get the market that he expected, sort of like Pete Alonso this offseason. Could then he circle back to the Blue Jays the way Alonso did with the Mets? Now, when you ask me what's next for the team in general, Scott, I've been very critical of them for, I don't know, a year or so for seemingly not having any kind of plan or direction. Now that they have Guerrero under contract for 14 years, there's a clear plan. They're going to try to win with him, build around him, and they'll have opportunities to do that. They've got money coming off the payroll this year, significant money coming off the payroll next year, as well as significant money in that case. So they're going to have opportunities. And with Guerrero there, it seems to me that they'll have a better chance with free agents because teams will see, okay, Vlad's there. We know what's going on, and eventually we'll get some resolution on what exactly their front office is going to look like. Remember, Mark Shapiro, team president in the last year of his contract, Ross Atkins, general manager, with another year after this. And that's been something, too, that I would imagine players have had questions about. What's this team going to look like from a management perspective? So we'll see how it all plays out. But the Jays now, in my view, are in a better place with Guerrero than they were with all this uncertainty, with the possibility of losing Guerrero and Bichette for just draft picks. That would have been a calamitous outcome, and it's not going to happen.
There's always been this ongoing talk about Shohei Ohtani, Babe Ruth, who's the better player, all these different categories. Now, my question to you is, we're talking about Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher. Who's going to have more, innings pitched, once it's all said and done?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Shohei's at around 400 and Babe Ruth was at about 1,200. Is that right, guys?
Yep. Yes.
Am I in the rough range? Okay. So that means Shohei's got to pitch 800 more innings in his career. He's probably a guy who is not going to average more than 150 over the course of his career, if even that much. So that's 5 or 6 years of pitching. I'm not sure Shohei Ohtani is going to get to Ruth's level with the innings workload that he is probably going to be under. So I would bet Babe Ruth if I had to guess right now. I just don't think Shohei is going to pitch that much and for that long.
Can you tell us what time of year you're going to say, you know what, maybe the Astros are cooked? Is it going to be September 28th when Ken Rosenthal finally says, you know what, this wasn't the Astros' year? Because you said on your show yesterday, you said on Fair Territory, you were like, I can't count them out ever. Well, ever could happen.
Ever's a long time. That's true.
Yes.
But last year when they were 7-19, or even before that, I remember writing something along the lines of, is this the end? And the underlying theme was, yeah, I think it might be the end. It wasn't the end. So therefore, even though the Astros have lost Tucker and Bregman and Presley, the culture there is so strong, I'm not about to count them out, and no one should, considering their success since 2017, with the cheating or not. Even post-scandal, they've been really, really good. So there's something there with them that has endured over the years, a culture that has basically led to winning. So yes, I won't say I won't count them out ever, but certainly if there's an X next to their line in the standings come September 28th and they're eliminated, yeah, Erik, I'll count them out then.
Yep, that's good timing at that point. So we'll wait. We got a little time in between now and then. Where do we think the Cubs are going to be at? So you wrote in your notes column about the 9-6 record, but what's impressive about it in your mind?
That the schedule has been so difficult, for one. And after this trip to Los Angeles and San Diego, Dodgers and Padres, they've got the Dodgers for 2 more games at Wrigley. And then by April 23rd, they're going to be done with the Dodgers and Padres. That's a good thing. Both those teams are really good. And the other thing that has been good about the Cubs so far, and again, it's really early and it's too early to pass judgment, but offensively, they lead the National League in runs per game. That was a sore spot for them last year. They were middle of the pack offensively in the National League. So we'll see if it continues. We'll see if they sustain it. But with Kyle Tucker there, it seems like a little bit of a better offense. No kidding. That was what was supposed to happen.
What about the Orioles' rotation depth? Where is that? Where is that going to come to fruition at? Because they have some pieces, but I don't know the timeline for Tyler Wells. I don't know the timeline for Bradish. And is it going to be too late by the time those guys get back?
Bradish and Wells, not till after the All-Star break. Grayson Rodriguez, who knows? Every year there seems to be mystery surrounding when he's going to pitch again. Kyle Gibson eventually will be ready. They've got some other pitchers, Trevor Rogers, Chase McDermott, also on the injured list. These guys are lesser contributors, at least that's the expectation, but they're bodies and they're pitchers, so they could enter the equation at some point. But like Scott was saying earlier, I've got the same question about them, and I've had it for a while now. The rotation, and will it be good enough in a rugged division at a time when they've got all of these young position players taking another step forward, or at least having the potential to do that? And you guys mentioned Kobe Mayo, and that's a really interesting case. And the Orioles fans saying our system's not as deep are right. It's not as deep as it once was. But here's Mayo, a guy who most likely is going to end up at first base, could play third, but he's not going to play third for the Orioles. That's where Westberg plays. So that's a player, a prospect, top 100 guy that you could still build a package around for any pitcher that might be available at the deadline. Alcantara right on down. So will they move him? I don't know. Maybe they feel he's the guy to replace Ryan Mountcastle in a year or two. Mountcastle has one more year after this, but you can't just win with young players, right? And you can't hold back when you have a clear need and an opportunity to make some noise, not just in the division, but in the playoffs. So Mayo's going to be the next interesting test case for them, whether they hold him or not.
I want to go a little bit Rockies action here. They got a couple prospects they just brought up, Chase Dollander and Zach Veen. Think they were brought up a little bit too soon, or is this just the way Rockies are going to be working now this year?
Well, I wrote about this today in my notes column, Todd, and it's an interesting thing. You never want to rip a team for calling guys up and trying to win games. That's what we've been screaming about for years regarding service time manipulation, and no one is in favor of that. But with Dollander and Veen, if they stay in the majors the rest of the year, they were called up early enough where the Rockies would lose a year of club control. They'd have him for only 5 more years instead of 6. Should they have waited? I think today's the day in which you could have waited until a guy gets called up to have that extra year of control. You could certainly make the case that that would have been the wiser move, the more coherent move. But again, I'm sure their argument would be, hey, whoa, we're trying to win, and you're ripping us or you're criticizing that. I'm not necessarily criticizing it, but I'm just pointing out that all they had to do was wait a little bit longer with Dollander in particular, and they would have been clear with that year of club control.
All right, Ken, this is what this show's about. It's about an opportunity for players to get back at reporters when they say things that we do that are just, you didn't agree with. So we're going to run a little clip of what you said about what AJ and I said, and I want to hear your rebuttal from it or your continued support of what you and Alana thought.
The SNY broadcast went bananas. Obviously, it benefited the New York Mets. But they were like, this is just elemental stuff. You don't bring in the infield in a bases-loaded situation when you have a slugger at the plate. I was watching that game the other day, Ken, and of course, SNY was going crazy about it. What is your take on this? Because AJ and Erik don't necessarily agree with me, but I don't understand the defensive alignment here.
There's one out. You've got a chance for an inning-ending double play. And I believe they intentionally walked the batter before to set that up. So Gary Cohen's point was, why are you doing that to set up the double play and then not playing for the double play? The other egregious part here was the positioning of the center fielder. He was like a short fielder in softball. And naturally, when Alonso crushed the ball to left center, it went way over his head. So I'm with you, Alana. They're dorks of the week. I heard what AJ and Erik said, and I understand their point. And actually, Erik was saying Alonso runs hard to first, has beaten out a few double play balls already this year. But I'm sorry, that to me was not the right percentage play, which was the argument AJ and Erik were making. All right, let me be clear, Erik. You and AJ were not the dorks of the week. It was the Marlins that Alana selected as the dorks of the week. And I would say in general, as you stand there with your arms crossed, reasonable men can disagree about baseball strategy. And that's all this is. We're reasonable men, we're disagreeing.
I would agree. And I think the only person that really should be arguing about infield in there is the third baseman and shortstop thinking, oh my gosh, Pete Alonso's way closer to me. But I agree with the situation that what Clayton McCullough did, because, and we talked about it on the show, you have a tough time scoring runs. You're down by 1 run, and obviously if the infield was back, they still wouldn't have caught that one-hop rocket off the left center field wall. So you're looking for that out at the plate to be able to keep the game close for an offense that doesn't do too much. So that was my
Erik,
situation.
I've got no problem with that rationale, and it's flip a coin in some degree with that. But what about the center fielder?
Ooh.
Hello?
What
are we doing?
I left that out of my
argument. Playing for a short fly ball and throw out the guy at home? I mean, come on.
No, that was not good. The center fielder, they have their cards and they pull the card out and they go, really? Is this the same Pete Alonso? Like, he just hit the ball. He just one-handed the ball out to right field, which Gary Cohen had said last week, these balls look juiced if Pete Alonso's hitting that ball. So maybe that I can 100% agree. The center fielder, he might have just been lost, but that's okay. Center fielders don't know where they're going all the time.
Todd, you're the last one for this argument this week.
I would have had the middle infield back.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have.
Okay. There's been four of his 12 ground balls with runners on first and second, or first and second double play opportunities. He has only grounded into 1 double play in that situation. He's beaten out the other 3.
I would have had corners up kind of halfway and middle back for sure.
Okay.
Good.
With you, Ken.
Good stuff.
There you
It's
go.
good discussion.
That is a good discussion.
That's
I like
baseball.
that.
That's baseball.
That's a good baseball debate right there. That's why I'm glad they brought it up on the broadcast. That's the good stuff, especially early in the season like this when, the games matter, but we want to get into the intricacies. Anyway, Ken, have a great weekend. Where are you this weekend, by the way?
No game for me this weekend. I'm off.
There you go. Enjoy it. A real weekend for Ken. All right, let's get him out of here.
Part-time Ken. Have a good weekend, Ken. Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
See you guys.
Thank you, Ken. See ya.
Thanks.
Fair territory, of course, Monday next week and Thursday. Oh, you'll have a very fresh Ken. I love that.
So fresh.
AJ is really at his freshest when he has a off week from,
he can't work
from his
5
game.
days.
No.
He can't work 5 days.
You'll get the same from Ken. He's really bringing it on Monday, and then of course on Thursday as well with Alana Rizzo. That show is live on the Fair Territory live feed on the Foul Territory YouTube channel. Be right back. FT fam, if you want a razor that looks good, makes you look good, gets the shave done, and doesn't cost much,
Oh.
Is it nice?
That's a hairy John. And you can smell it too. Smell that, John. Smell it.
Oh, wow. What is
After
that?
See,
shave?
that's Harry's. That's the shave gel.
Bro,
I'm telling you, look, I mean,
you look scary, man.
it's the shot.
Fresh.
Now come in, get this.
I don't
Look
want to
how- look
touch
how
this
soft
head
that is.
anymore. Oh, my
Look how
God.
soft it
It
is.
That looks
doesn't-
like
it is
German
soft.
engineered blades made in
It
their
is
own
soft.
factory that stay sharp longer.
I'm using the razor, and it does not. You can start to feel when
Yeah,
it gets dull. I mean, you guys only do like here and like up here.
true.
I'm doing acreage,
That's
acreage, square footage, whatever you want to use.
It's-
And it feels still
awesome.
just.
It's probably the best head of yours I've ever seen.
It is. That is
Let's
it.
go.
That's your front man right there. No risk
Oh.
trial, too. If you don't like your shave, no worries. It's on them because they're not worried about it. Get the edge on your shave with Harry's. Normally, their trial set's $13. Right now, you can get it for just $3 at harrys.com/foul. They know it's going to be money. That's the exclusive link, harrys.com/foul for a $3 trial set. All right, back for a couple before the TV crowd swings back. He's not the most well-known name, but this is a guy that they were hoping to have a nice season for them. Ryan Bliss is having surgery today on a torn biceps. He's expected to miss 4 to 5 months. That's essentially the season.
God.
Mariners are getting these long-term injuries right now with some role players. That sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. There's been injuries all over baseball, too.
Yeah.
This one hurts.
This one really hurts.
4 to 5. I mean, that's pretty much it, no, for the season?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the torn bicep? A couple guys like check swung.
Yes, and it would
It was like
It
was
would
like
pop out.
It was like 2 or 3, 4 years ago, and it was like, how are these dudes doing this?
Don't know.
I don't know, but that's tough.
Yeah. This is, for now an end of the bench guy, but he's 25 years old. He's super fast, little guy
They
trying
need
to
all the depth.
trying to make a name for himself. And
Yes.
yes, it's a depth thing, right? You might look at this and go, oh, well, this isn't, one of the key players, but Ryan's out, then who replaces him? And then if that person's out, who replaces him? This is
Right.
when the minor league depth starts
Yep.
to really get tested.
Dylan Moore can only play one position a day.
That's
You
the
have
perfect
JP
way to put it.
Crawford.
That's true.
Dylan Moore is gold
Mhm.
wherever he plays. First, second, short, third. He can only play one position. You need other guys.
Yep. All right, let's hit our Friday Arena Club conversation. I really like this question, and I want to give immediate props to Daniel Murphy, who I called a game with the other day and who has come up with this question and asks almost every baseball fan. Who will finish with more career innings pitched? One has already finished, obviously, the late, great Babe Ruth. He's in the 1,200 range, and Shohei Ohtani's in the 400 range. Who will have more innings pitched?
It's not even close.
I don't think it'll be close either.
Babe Ruth.
Mhm.
Babe Ruth easily.
George Herman?
Georgie Herms. The guy, he's not pitching until the second half of the year.
It's 30.
He's 30.
But let's say he pitches 6 more seasons.
That's what you think.
Let's do some
6
math.
more with internal bracing, Tommy John, whatever, second surgery, 6 more seasons. You know how many innings he's averaged in a 162 game season? Like his average.
Tell him.
And he's never hit this.
78.
No, in
in a 162 game season.
Yeah.
You're on a per.
How many innings has he
What?
averaged?
190. 190 innings. Now, that's an average for 162.
He's
If he
never
would
doing
pitch-
that again.
He's never reached that.
Yeah.
I'm saying if he pitched healthy, his 32 starts, that's what he would get out to. He's never made 32 starts. 23, 23, 28. So he's always going to be under 28. Now he's with the Dodgers who have 19 first, number one starters. They don't need to push him ever.
I don't want him.
Number one starters. They don't need to push him ever.
I don't want him doing that.
And
It's a
nobody
good
does.
thing. Need a first half of 15 starts out of you, right?
Let's say they get 130 innings out of him. He's well short.
Yeah.
Ruth was, if you look up Babe Ruth's pitching, it was like he had a dare when he was 38. They go, you won't pitch again. He's like, all right, 1 start, 9 innings.
Hot dog in.
Yeah.
Next.
Hot dog, probably a dinger. So those numbers will be cool once Shohei gets to 38. Oh, wow, Babe Ruth started when he was 38 through a complete game or through 9 innings. I don't know if it was a complete game, but you sit there and you go, it's just not going to be close. 1, it's a different era. 2, his value as a hitter, if it even ticks down a little bit because he's pitching, they're going to be like, see it. Don't want it.
How about making him like a reliever?
Can't
Wow.
take him in and out of the game. The schematic or the actual whatever's going to happen with the lineup,
Yeah.
you bring him in, he's DHing, you take him out, then your
pitcher's got to hit. Whatever it is.
you lose
You
Shohei.
lose.
Who cares if the pitcher has to hit, but you lose Shohei.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
12, 21 and a third for Babe. There's the kaboom card, by the way. 12, 21 and a third for him, and that's on Arena Club. Shohei Ohtani's at 481 and 2/3.
If he doesn't get injured, I think he'll get close, but I don't think he's going to overtake.
For me, 6 seasons. Let's say there's 6 more seasons of pitching. I'm going on an average. We're going to get about 100 innings. So that's 600 innings. So that gets him to a little over 1,000.
It's not.
So
I was.
it's not crazy that he could do.
You only think he's going to get 100 innings?
No, about 100. Like this year, for example, is he
Yeah.
going to get to 100 innings this year? No.
I don't see that.
Think about this. For the next 5 years, the Dodgers are going to be really good, right? We're pretty confident in that. Okay. So they got to get through the regular season, but they're probably going to make the playoffs. Can you make a case that they're mostly going to have him geared up on a year-by-year basis for the second half of the year? Like, do you think it's worth a full season of Ohtani pitching next year, for example? Or do you think that is too much wear and tear, and we have no modern evidence of how to play this out?
nobody knows. Only Shohei knows what he feels in the 7th inning of a game when he hits a triple that he's starting, and he has been through 2 injuries now, 2 arm surgeries. He has to know, okay, well, this is really wearing on me this way, so maybe we're going to have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that they want him to start all year? The only reason they would is because if they shut him down partway through a year or they start him slow, he could be like, man, I just never got up to feeling 100%. So it could be like he could be a start, 8 days off start. It's really all about – I don't see him ever getting 30 starts. I would even say I don't ever see him getting over 25 starts in the regular season. Maybe 20 with 5 postseason starts. Okay.
So 20 times 5 is 100.
Yeah, he did go deeper into games sometimes.
Yeah,
that's why
fine.
I came up with my 130. I had about 20 to 22 starts, 6 innings apiece. I'm rated at about 130. He's still short.
Mm-hmm.
He's still short, and that's okay. To me, the Dodgers paid $70 million a year for him.
Deferred.
But they also have to, for the entire 10 years of his contract, or 6 years if he's pitching for 6 years, they have to figure out another piece of their rotation because he can't throw every 5 days. So it's not like they have to spend some more money, and they're going to do that whole time. They're going to always have to figure out, even with Yamamoto in there and now Sasaki in there, guys that just don't pitch every 5 days. They're just completely geared to pitching every 6 to 7 days, or 6-man rotation with, hey, using that off day. Now it becomes like a 7-man rotation.
Yeah, he's a once-a-week guy, Ohtani. That's what they'll
All of
try
them
and
are.
do.
I think all of them will be, and that's
Right.
okay because they're built that way.
Yeah, it's funny. What if Ohtani wasn't on the Dodgers and it was a team that's got to win at the margins? It would make things very interesting, and you'd get angry baseball fans, or at least of that team, being like, we need to pitch him more. Why are we slow playing this? I'm saying he's fortunate that he's on a team that during the regular season doesn't
get away with a
need
lot.
him to make that many starts.
Can
right?
get away with a lot of things. Yep,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm trying to think who it would be on like that would.
Tons of teams fit that mold. The Cubs.
But I'm saying that would have
the
actually
Mariners.
gone after him.
That would have gone after him.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays went after him.
On a flight?
Yeah, but the Blue Jays.
But I'm saying if he was on the Blue Jays
Blue
now.
Jays have more endless cash than you would think.
I
They're
understand.
5th highest payroll in the league.
Let's just pretend he's on the Blue Jays right now. This is a different storyline. Not just this year. I'm saying over the next several years, because they're like, we're good, but we're not auto playoff good. And that makes it tougher to manage him and his innings. You have to go off what he wants, but he wants to do everything. He wants to play. He wants to pitch, whatever. They're trying to work with him on making sure that he's going to be ready for October to be able to do both, because that's where he's most valuable. He could be a 1 and he could be the best hitter in the sport. So no big deal. Sorry about it. Let's run AJ Przinsky's little clip on this too. 1,221 and a third.
No
innings.
chance. Shohei's getting there. No chance.
Shohei
Babe
has
Ruth.
481 and 2/3.
No. Babe Ruth. You think he's going to get 800 more innings in 8 years?
Me, no, and I'm going to go into more.
I'm going Babe Ruth.
Not close.
I don't know. I know he's supposed to pitch again.
He's going to pitch.
I just don't know how much he's going to pitch, and they're going to baby him. So he's going to miss most of this year. They'll go into next year, and if anything pops up, they're going to be like, just hit 50 and steal 50. We'll be good.
They were playing us off. They were like, we get it. Okay, speech is over. Anyway, let us know what you think. And also, if you want to check out what Ohtani cards look like, Arena Club is the spot. And that includes a chance to get a Shohei Ohtani card that you wouldn't otherwise just be able to purchase or land. A slab pack is how you get that done. For more information on that, of course, go to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL, FOUL, to receive 20% off of your first slab pack. You're ripping a card digitally. Obviously, you keep the card. You've got it in your Arena Club showroom. And, of course, when you want to show it off, if you get one of those big boys, you just send into them. They give you the card. And that 20% off is also for card purchases. We will be right back, FT fam, with Kyle Hendricks. All right, let's hit Hungryroot. Who's hungry?
Always.
It's your Hungryroot lunch break. What are you getting from a recent order?
I mean, I'm trying to eat healthier, so I'm just going with the grilled chicken, and I got asparagus last time.
Okay.
Why
Why are you laughing at that?
You laugh, but the thing is, like, the sauce I have is not, I need a little side piece.
Trying to eat healthier. Get some asparagus. And some mayo too.
No mayo.
Unbelievable, bro.
No.
Like, make it work out one time. Don't just let your Hungryroot snacks that they send you.
It's delicious.
Go to waste.
What's wrong with you?
I love salads, but I want creative salads, and I can't come up with the right creative salad, so they do it for me.
It's perfect.
Once you like check that you liked it, they get stuff like around that those parameters,
Yes.
and they figure it out. You're like,
let's try this, let's try that,
how do they know
and it
me?
usually works out well.
So,
they send you hot dogs.
Yep, exactly. So, but healthy
guy,
ones.
man.
Take advantage of the FT offer for a limited time, 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life at hungryroot.com/FT and use code FT. That's hungryroot.com/FT. The code's really tough. It's the letter F and the letter T to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. Angels pummeled the Rays yesterday. AJ and I were talking about the ballpark there down at Steinbrenner, and we talked to Ken about it a little bit. Toddfather, have you seen the approaches in the past few days? Even Mike Trout, everybody's just like, yo, oppo for days if you need to, right? If you're a righty, everything to right field.
In the air.
What is it? Is it a jet stream?
It's almost like somebody said that when they said they were going to be playing at that park. Like, watching dudes on the Yankees, like the beasts, because I would never go to the games. They would always put me in like the really good players group. I mean, you're talking like Greg Bird, Jonky Ballgame, El Gary, all these dudes that just are like, I'm hitting the ball to right field in BP, and it just
with ease too.
Going into Dale Mabry.
Why does it? Is it a jet stream? Is that what
it must be a jet stream? But before they changed all of it, before they put everything out there, the park played fair, but the fence. It felt like the fence was like 30 feet farther back. Like it used to be,
me too. Why
it used to be deep in the gaps, and in the Florida State League, it played huge, ginormous. So I think when they closed off and they put the extra barriers up top, I think it just started shooting out to right.
I'll be there next week anyway, Scotty. I'll let you know.
Hey, we've got Kyle Hendricks from the Angels joining us right now, and I don't know if you caught any of what we were just going over, but first off, Kyle, great to have you on. Appreciate the time. How you doing?
Great, guys. Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Yeah, would love to get your thoughts real quick because you just pitched and you were fine down to Steinbrenner Field, but what is that park like? What did you just witness from your team? You did no big deal, 5 shutout innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 5 ground balls. But what's going on there, and how was that?
Yeah, definitely listening to what you guys were saying there, and I couldn't agree more. I think from my standpoint, being an absolutely unbiased Angels player, I think all the homers we hit were legit, and all the homers they hit were cheap. You know, that's how it goes.
That is definitely how it goes. Except you pitchers, you all sit in a dugout together, and you're like, "Bro, how did you do this? My 4-seam fastball up in the top of the zone, it's just gonna get rocked." And the professor's over there like, "What you gotta do is you just gotta sink it and cut it a little bit, just sink a little lower below the zone." What were the conversations with you starters after you pitched and before guys pitched?
Yeah, man, you know us too well, for sure. We're definitely in a group over there having a conversation of like, what the heck is going on here? And for me, I think that's definitely wrong. It's all luck. I'm like, I got through that. It was lucky. I missed some barrels. The day games, I'll say, during the day, it's definitely different. The ball is flying more. There's like a jet stream out to right field, something with the wind. For night games, it seems to be playing more fair. So I was just lucky I got a night game, but just such a fun series, man. Fun for our guys, and to go there and hit homers like that, everybody's loving that. So we were having a good time.
I want to talk a little bit about where you're from, how you grew up. I mean, it says 20 miles from Angel Stadium. Now you're playing for him. Dream come true. Growing up there, that's what you said. Talk a little about how cool this is and how, your family, how excited this is for you to play that close to a ballpark that you pretty much grew up in your backyard.
Yeah, 100% Todd. I think you know the feeling. Just surreal, growing up, going to that ballpark with my dad and my mom, just being a little kid, loving the game. That's all it was. And now to come full circle, 20, 30 years later, whatever it is, to be in the stadium playing, having my family come to the games, it really doesn't even feel real. So it's just so cool. I'm trying to soak up every minute of it.
Do you feel like if you had played out there when you were a kid, when you were first coming up in the big leagues, you wouldn't appreciate it as much as you do now?
100%. 100%. I think the experiences, getting away from home, leaving that, being uncomfortable, seeing how all that played out, getting the experience of the big leagues, going throughout the whole country, and now kind of towards the end of my career, being able to come back with all that perspective, definitely made it different. It would may have been a little overwhelming if I would have done it at the beginning of my career, just having so many people so close to you. But now coming back home at the end, having that perspective, keeping it all under control, I'm just really enjoying it so much right now.
I bring this up all the time because it's players talking to, or ex-players talking to current players. And if you're a rookie out there, would you have played for free for the first few years until you figured out the whole, not everybody gets tickets? Now you're a vet. You're like, oh, I don't know. We only get 2 tickets, and my wife and her friend are going to take them.
That's exactly right, man. You know exactly how to play it. In the beginning, you're giving everybody tickets. So if I would have been at home, that would have been the problem. You would have been playing for free. But no, as the years go, you kind of find your group. You kind of find who's close to you. Those people stay the same. So now to come back home, yeah, you can fulfill a few other requests, but you also know how to skate around it a little bit, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about when Kratzy and I played. We played against you a lot. I faced you a lot of times when you were with the Cubs. For some reason, I don't know if anybody told you, you had a little tell when you pitched. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Has anybody ever talked to you about that a little? I'm just being honest.
Of course they have.
Oh, and now I lost my cord because of you. No, I'm good. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, he's got you.
We got you.
You got me. Okay, good. So for me, honestly, I guess when you came up, you could kind of see the ball. So what have people told you about that? And is that something that you say, forget about it, I'm just going to pitch? Or was it something that you kind of tried and worked on?
No, it's definitely something you have to try to eliminate. But as the saying goes, I mean, a lot of pitchers do tip, and once you're a tipper, kind of always a tipper. That's what they say. So at the end of the day, the thought that takes over for me is a good pitch is going to be a good pitch. A good pitch can get a good hitter out a lot of times. But for sure, it's something you want to focus on. It's something I've always had trouble with, something we've always been trying to take video of and make a change. I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at it. And it's gotten to the point now where you can notice kind of what teams or what hitters see it and which ones don't. And that's when you really have to make the adjustment. But at the end of the day, as a pitcher, you're really just trying to focus on making one good pitch at a time. And hopefully that plays out over the course of a season.
Yeah, but did you watch Todd swing in the on-deck circle and go, there's no way this dude should have a 375 batting average. There's no way he should have a 1,000 OPS against me. And you go, okay, I was probably tipping when I was facing the Reds. So, there's certain guys that you look at and you're like, man, if I had ever gotten a hit off you, you'd be like, golly, catcher must have told him what was coming.
No, definitely not true. Definitely not true. Anybody I get out, I chalk it up to luck. But you talk about Frazier's his swing in the on-deck circle, but then you go look at the video, and it's just barrels everywhere. Okay, so you gotta trust the information, trust the video you see. Yep, there's barrels all over the yard. So again, you just try to maybe not let him beat you, and I would have been probably better off walking him more of the time.
But
go ahead.
No, that's baloney. At the end, I didn't know, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know about it when I was with Cincinnati because I didn't trust anybody. And if they would tell me, and then as I got older, I'm like, I need this help as much as possible. And I'm gonna tell you the one time I saw, I was with the Mets. I came in and I think I pinched it. I hit a double off the wall against you, and they're like, I'm telling you, when his hand goes up, you're gonna either see it was either curled or straight. I forget what it was. And I had everyone, and sometimes you still can't even hit it. Like the worst part for me, when I knew what was coming and I still couldn't hit it, that's when you know you have to think about retirement because that was my biggest issue. But that was probably the only time I had it. But it was just always something that came up watch his hands. But sometimes you were quick, you couldn't see it. I'm like, that's it, man. I need to stop. So that's all.
Yeah,
Part of the
you're
game.
exactly. Totally. It's part of the game, and you're right. Some guys love it, some guys don't want to know anything about it. And so for me to focus on it full-heartedly is tough. But like you said, you notice the kind of keep up and you notice the guys that are really getting it, and that's when you have to change. And once you make one different, sometimes they'll abandon it, go to a different setup. So yeah, you just really got to stay on top of it as a pitcher, for sure.
All right, so what tips does Kyron Paris have? Because he clearly knows exactly what's coming. And how is it to watch as a teammate? Like, you're like, I saw you a little bit, like not too much, but he's a beast right now, yes?
Absolutely, man. What he's doing is so fun to watch. I think it goes back to the changes, the adjustments he was willing to make, and the work he put in the offseason. He absolutely got after it. He came in. I didn't see him or know him that well, obviously, last year, but looking at some past video, hearing some things about him from all the guys here, he clearly just got after it in the offseason, worked so hard, changed his swing, made big adjustments, and you're seeing it pay off right here. I mean, the confidence level is obviously sky high. You guys know from playing, when confidence is up, you're going to have a really good chance every time up there. So, I mean, he's been a huge piece for us so far this year. It's been awesome to watch.
Swing changes happen all the time. Pitching, mechanics, you're always trying to tweak stuff. Did you ever try, because he went to the teacher man stuff, and it's that back leg, coming through the ball, Judge style, and it's working out for him. Did you ever try to hit like a gimmick thing as a pitcher where it's like everybody starts throwing the weighted balls and you're like, I am going to throw this ball upper 90, 90.7, 90.8. Like, did you ever get into any of those gimmick things? And what year did you do it?
Yeah, for me, I throw 85. I don't throw hard at all. I can't be one of those guys searching for velo. So the gimmicks never really connected with me, just because I think I'm that guy. I'm just completely different. I don't throw hard at all. But that's funny you brought that up. One of the things was the weighted balls. After my injury, I had a shoulder injury in 21, 22. Coming back from that, using the weighted balls just to cut down my volume. So using it more for warm up, maybe searching for a little velo, that'd be great if you get it, but more so just cutting down the volume. I'm a guy that likes to throw a lot. I think that was the cause of some of these little injury stuff. You want to be out there and be consistent, be that guy for your team every fifth day. So yeah, I've kept up with the times, as they say, as much as you can. Stay with the weighted balls, gotten new information. I think you have to keep adapting with the times, but know what's right for you, of course, at the end of the day.
Adapting with the times. You've seen some Ivy Leaguers take jobs in the front office. This is kind of like a two-part question. As an Ivy Leaguer, do you look at like front office jobs, but also as a strike throwing person who can throw the ball down and away and get a lot of outs? If you took over an organization in that sense, like a Chris Young or a Craig Breslow type of way, would you be okay or able to teach pitchers to throw strikes and locate? Because everybody and their mother teaches dudes to throw harder, and who cares where it goes, because you are the poster child of somebody who has been able to succeed in this game where everybody says velocity is the only way.
Yeah, that's a great question, man. And there's definitely a lot to that. So I think at the end of the day, if you can command the baseball and throw it where you want to, that's going to be the best results. Now, of course, if you can do that at 100 miles an hour, you're going to be a lot better than a guy at 90 miles an hour. So I think you have to have a good balance with it. Number one is you have to know who you are. Number one is a pitcher. So yeah, somebody taking over a front office, they just need to know who their personnel is, who they have as their players. From there, I think you put in the work on the side and the preparation. Maybe you chase velo. Maybe you're working on things mechanically, to throw harder. And then you have to somehow, when you're about to deliver the ball, change your focus to that command. Find the glove, find your area where you're trying to locate. It doesn't have to be pinpoint for some guys. Maybe they're throwing to a big area, but at least they get it there. I think I've seen it here, honestly, with the Angels. In the past few years, I think they were going down that path of throw your best pitch all the time, use your stuff, let that take over. And this year, they brought in a few guys. Sal Fasano has been a big one, man. He's just the way he talks about pitching, the way he talks about the game. And then Travis d'Arnaud, they worked together for years together, but bringing them both over here together, one coach, one player, obviously, but just the words they use, how they approach the game, how they approach pitching, they they have found that balance, that really good balance, and knowing who their guy is, using their stuff the right way, and then also teaching command. So I think you can find a good balance and use both, and that's when you get the best of both worlds, and you see guys really take off, and that's guys that dominate the game.
But could you teach it? Could you look a kid in the eye that throws 100 miles an hour and go, hey, bro, this is what you need to do to command it? Could you teach it? Because you always talk about hitters, like great hitters usually aren't great hitting coaches. Terrible hitters are great hitting coaches. So could you teach a kid who throws 100 to have command? Because that is the golden egg.
Yes. Okay. I totally got you here. And I don't have confidence in myself to do that. No. I think just like you said, I'm so locked in on my process. I know how my body works, my mind works. That's what I'm trying to follow and go through. Now, if I were to go down that path, I think it would take me, some time. I would have to make some adjustments, really dive into that part of the game if that's really what I wanted to do and to get out of it. But you're absolutely right. It's really hard being a coach. You have to have the guy on the other end hearing your words, and connecting to that. Sometimes just the way you put things, the certain words you use connect certain ways to different guys. So I think coaching is a whole different world and teaching guys. But again, I love the role I'm in playing. I love competing and focusing on my teammates, the conversations that we have together, like in the dugout, in the clubhouse, all that about pitching. That's the stuff I love. And I feel like that's a little bit of teaching, coaching. We're just all amongst ourselves right now.
Kyle, this is your first year in the bigs on a non-Chicago Cubs team. So was it weird to make that transition? And do you do any reminiscing now that that chapter of your career has closed? For example, we spoke to Schwarber a few weeks ago about this, and he had a really good answer about how it went so quick and so many things happened so well. And obviously, I think you were the longest tenured guy from the 2016 champs to still go through your Cubs career, obviously, after that for another almost decade. But what's it like now to look back?
Yeah, I think Schwartz said it exactly right, man. It goes so fast. It goes extremely fast, especially for a lot of us, man. We were young. That young core that was coming up, we were 24, 25, going to the playoffs and then winning the World Series in the first couple years. You're just like, oh my gosh, this is what happens in the big leagues, right? And it's completely not true. It's so hard to do that and to get back there every single year. And so that's where the reminiscing comes, is realizing how good of a group we had year after year. The core, the veteran leaders, how much I learned from John Lester, John Lackey, Jake Arrieta. I would have never been able to do any of this without learning what I did from them. So yeah, there's so many memories, and when it's all over, I'll be able to look back more and really reminisce more on all that. Just for this year, like you said, I'm super excited where I'm at. And I think, to answer the second part of your question, I think it was more weird for almost everybody else, the change coming to the Angels. You guys know playing. I mean, when you're growing up, you're moving teams, you're going here and there. You're always playing for somebody different, it seems like, high school through college. So it was almost more strange to be in one place for that 10-year stretch or whatever it was. That was almost more strange. Coming to a new team, new guys, that's what you're used to. And especially coming back to a hometown team, somebody I just grew up watching and playing it, I felt very comfortable right at home.
All you young Cubs, actual Cubs in the big leagues, who goes back to Chicago and gets the most beers paid for? Like, who's the guy out of that
That's
whole
great.
crew that is like, oh man, like everybody loves this guy more than everyone else?
Yeah, I think that one's pretty clear, man. Riz is Mr. Chicago, Anthony. He's the
Why?
Mr. Cub. I think he was there. He was there from the beginning, and he saw some of the losing. He was there for the couple really bad years, and then a year or two in for him, it really changed and it clicked, and he seemed to be the catalyst. He was always the leader, the guy keeping us where we needed to be, even keel. He knew when to get guys loose, when to get serious. He just really had a good grasp on the team and the city and the fans and everything they meant, and what it would mean to win in that city. He understood it, it seemed like, the most. So we all kind of followed his lead. And from there, I would say on the pitching side, it would be John Lester. I mean, he was just an absolute legend, and what he did for that club was amazing.
Last question here. Mike Trout started off a little slow. You know how he goes. All of a sudden, he's going to get going. 2 homers yesterday. I texted him earlier. I said there were a couple of cheapies, but he said he'll take
The
them.
one was cheap. The one was cheap.
There's no such thing as a cheap home run. I was kidding.
Facts.
And you know
Exactly.
But do you? How do you see him going? Is he going to kickstart this team moving forward here? Big game yesterday. 3 guys with 2 home runs. If Mike Trout goes, does this team go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys know who he is as a player, one of the best players to ever play the game, future Hall of Famer. So that's been so cool for me to just see his process. And there's no reason, or I can understand the reason why he is as good as he is. He's the first one in there every single day, working his tail off, man. What he puts in, he gets everything out. And for sure, he been in the middle of our lineup like that. If he's going and he's hot, I mean, we're going to be really, really good for this entire year. But think you've seen it at the start of this season. We've used so many guys, so many different guys have been the hero for us, from KP, Paris, like we were talking about, up and down this order, up and down this lineup, and the pitching we've had. It's taken everybody for some of these wins we've had. So that's the really cool part, seeing the young guys come through. That's what's going to pay off when we get down to the stretch, in the August, September, hopefully when we're in it. But if Mike's going 100%, as good as he is as a player, he can carry a team on his own.
All right, last one. Todd and I played with Mike when he was 19. And obviously, we've kept in touch, all this stuff. He was on the show and he said, guys, I'm just, I'm not 19 anymore. No more wings and Pepsis.
Coke.
Has he? Cokes? I thought he was a
Coke.
Pepsi guy.
No, Coke guy.
Coke guy. Sorry. Is he off of those? Because if he's off of those, then I might start taking my MVP picks to the. So have you seen him drink a Coke and eat wings since you've been on the team yet?
I haven't seen it. I honestly did not even know that about him. So
MVP.
haven't seen it once.
Wow.
Because I heard it was Fruit Loops, a Coke, because I thought it was Pepsi, Fruit Loops, Coke, and then he'd go out to the line to stretch with everybody, and he was like, I'm just out here hanging out, and I'm gonna go hit 2 dingers.
Yeah, he was 12.
He was 12 in the
And
big
you know
leagues.
why it's Coke? Because the way he says kook. Not
Oh, the South Jersey.
yeah, like
yeah.
like hoagie. What the heck
Yeah.
is that crap?
Hoagie.
It don't matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hoagie.
no, that don't make any sense.
It's not a sub, it's a hoagie.
No.
Well,
it's a
now you
sandwich.
know. Now you know. Only fancy stuff with him. Matcha lattes or whatever he's doing now for a little caffeine. Kyle, this was awesome, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for jumping on with us. Have fun with the Angels with the new squad off to a great start.
Go ahead, kid.
I appreciate you guys, man. It was awesome. It was good seeing you guys. Take it
Thank
easy.
you. Yeah, you too. Appreciate you. The Professor Kyle Hendricks with us on FT. Be right back. Yeah, we're bringing it today. So we're rocking homage. Is that a little homage?
Come on. Of course it is. Where's my my little patch.
Your left side. It's there on your wrist.
Oh, yeah. See my little patch.
Little
It's homage.
homage.
A little homage.
I feel like I won today.
Yeah.
You did, except
go,
nobody
Devil Ray.
ever won in a Devil Ray. Like,
Who cares?
nobody,
I-
literally,
Homage
they
That's
took
true.
the devil out of their name and they won. Nobody wins with the devil. Okay?
Yeah, you know what? But now it's cool.
I mean, yeah, it's old school.
It's been
but
so long, and I actually
Yeah,
think
no,
it's time to bring it back.
I love those jerseys.
They are so clean. I'm a fan. The coloring just blended perfectly.
I love the
neon
coloring.
yellow to the green.
But
to
if
the
you're
blue.
an organization and you lost in those jerseys, you can never bring them back on a consistent, like, Thursday game, Friday
I
game.
disagree. I think that if they go through another year where it's tough, that it is actually time to turn it back around, put the devil back in the details, and give me the devil rays, okay? Florida knows what's up. If you grew up, or actually around my age, which I didn't, but people in Florida that grew up around that time period, especially in the Tampa area or even Orlando area for our boy AJ, this hits. So homage.com/foul territory. Get after it. Code is foul territory.
Need it.
We
There's
love
so
them.
many.
We
There's-
love them.
There's so many there. You'll go on
I
the
just got a
site.
fresh shipment, though. I got a lot of shirts I'm going to show off the next couple weeks.
You'll go on the site and you'll be like, man, how can I keep this under 10 shirts?
I'm waiting for the jacket. That's what I need. I need that big puffy Yankee started. That one right
Yeah,
there.
it's fire.
Oh,
I brought my Mets one today. It's
That's
raining.
sweet.
It's awful day outside. Anyway,
Cold.
for 1 minute here, can we show how awful Kyle Tucker's StatCast metrics are.
Do it. It's all red.
Dark red means really, really dangerous.
It means fire.
So Sarah Langs posted this. He is in the top percentile for every batting category.
Wow.
The lowest one is hard hit percentage and bat speed, which are both at 69%, which means he's graded out as 69%. Not quite top of your class. That's slacker status, but most of the rest, as you can see on the board here, are firmly in the 90s.
Bat speed, I don't care. Kids, if you go to a showcase and your bat speed is not in the parameters, you're fine. That doesn't mean you're not a good player. There's a lot of dudes that have some bat speed that swing and miss all the time. So let's pump the brakes on that. This is unbelievable. What a pickup by the Cubs.
Let's charge the mound. MLB players are cheap. Breaking news. Not all of them. Some of them ball out. And most ball out in one or two categories. Maybe it's cars. Maybe it's vacations. Maybe it's dinners or food. But they also love to go back to their core, back to their roots. And if you remember, years back, Zach Greinke went viral for complaining about Chipotle's guacamole price hike, which was still sub $2. So Britt Giroli put together this awesome article in The Athletic called MLB Players Won't Even Pay to Read This Article. You stay rich by being cheap. Now, cheap is what some players call the C word. A's pitcher TJ McFarland says he likes to use the F word. Frugal. Okay? And then Stephen Kwan said it's that old cliche. You stay rich by being cheap. A couple other examples here, and then we'll get some more from our friends sitting next to me. So there are accounts like Spotify, Netflix, etc., subscriptions. They're borrowing from everybody. Sometimes, this was good, you would hear in the clubhouse a phone hooked up and ads playing between songs, meaning you didn't sign up for the premium account. And Whit Merrifield in this story goes, guys would yell, you're a big leaguer making millions of dollars and you can't pay $12 for the premium account. Even Glasnow is going to be on with us on Monday, so maybe we can ask him. He said there's something about buying an app. I just don't want to give them the $2. There's clothing, lots of old clothing, or just all the free stuff. Clay Holmes said he's cheap about flights because you don't really know how much they cost until the off season. So this article really hits. Lastly, on cars, some guys spent all out on that category, and then there's Matt Vierling still driving his 2012 Ford Escape from college, which broke down on the highway in September.
That ain't it. Your car can't break down.
That's your line.
Your car can't break down. You can't have anything that you're not willing to spend money on that's going to be a detriment to your career, food, trainers, sleep, your lifestyle. You got to spend money on it. Everything else, you could look at me as cheap, frugal, whatever you want. I always say that I'm cheap, and my wife's like, you're not cheap. You just might not spend everything, but you're not cheap. Like, I'm a simple man, but I think also the minor leagues signing for $1,000, it puts it in there and it kind of ingrains that in you. And you're like, I don't need other things. I don't need excess. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. And then when you're first coming up, you have no kids and everything else. That's the time where it's like, all right, let's control what we buy, in my opinion. Some people might think the other way around, let's spend, and then we have, no. Control what you try and spend. I mean, I'm not a guy that's going to go out to the mall and spend hundreds of dollars on clothes or anything. I've got some of the same shirts since I was in high school. I have the same jacket I bought.
You guys also get so much free stuff.
But that's also as well.
Yeah.
So,
but there's cheap dudes. Ross Ollendorf. We would go golfing, and we get 30 golf balls at the range, and you get those broke range balls that say range on it. He would hit 11 or 12 balls, pick the rest of them up, put them in his cart. I said, I am not golfing if you are golfing with range balls. I said, every time I see your ball on the fairway, rough, anything, I'm taking it and I'm throwing it into the closest water.
Oh my God.
That was the move. I was like, no chance.
What did he say?
He was like, dude, don't do that. These are the balls I'm going to use.
All right.
it's,
Trevor May covered this topic on May Day, so let's get Trevor's thoughts.
But basically, baseball players, we find a brand and then we just buy that brand because a lot of us are big. Currently right now I'm 6'5", 265 pounds. Like, there's only certain clothes that fit me, right? So I hear this a lot. But one of the guys who made the best quote, Ryan Mountcastle, says, "I never get new clothes." Basically, we just all get like our golf pants and we get our one shirt and we wear it until it falls apart or we get too fat and then we put on something else. So these guys don't buy clothes. Francisco does. So everyone's got their stuff. I like buying computer stuff. I don't buy cars. So everyone's got their things. Also, a lot of people came from blue-collar backgrounds like me. And their parents instilled this into us. And you're told from the moment you sign, don't lose all your money, idiot. But everyone's got their things, and I just think it's hilarious that we all give each other crap. It's one thing that you got to talk openly about in a clubhouse is money. Guys give each other crap all the time. Like I once asked Francis Lindor if I could just borrow $1 million. He's
Like Venmo it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's some dudes that here's the biggest thing. If you're cheap, that's different than generous. You can not spend on frivolous things, but generous dudes are the ones that you're like, whoa. Like that's really cool. Like stories like CC Sabathia, some of the tips that he gave to dudes. Now I'm not going to put his business out there because his tips were ridiculously awesome. He was always so generous. You'd go out to eat, he would always pay for the food. It was almost like if you offered, he'd get pissed. What? Like, you serious? Like, stop. Don't even offer. So then you're like, I'm not going to offer. Like, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, there's dudes that aren't going to waste their money, but are so generous. And those are the guys that, like, stick out in my mind.
Are there any guys, obviously we're not going to get a name because then it's going to go nuts, that made a ton, right, that you played with where you were like, yo, this guy has to chill. I need to sit with him, take him to dinner or something and be like, you can't take it all inside the grave with you. You need to enjoy yourself.
There's both extremes.
There's guys like, oh, I don't know, my wife's going to get mad at me. I'm like, your wife, bro. You made this money. You can do whatever the heck you want with it.
And what is she going to get mad about? Like you getting a bottle of wine for $200 at a dinner when you got 100 million career earnings?
100 mil was always like the one where you're like, 100 million?
Oh my gosh!
And we're splitting a $150 tab right down the middle.
You had that guy
when you were, or like, I'll get the cab when dude's making 100 million. Like, I'll get it. Like, the way I always saw it was, Todd makes less than me. I should pay for what whatever we're doing together. Mm-hmm. Somebody makes more than me, he would pay. Like it, but also the dudes that make a lot more than everybody thinks, oh, well, he made so much. Like, he should just pay for my thing. He should just pay for that thing for me.
Should never think that way.
And you would like, those people would be crushed.
Yeah.
Those people would be crushed with, like, so many people asking for money. Like, there's so many stories.
At least
also of dudes that I know are making the minimum.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like, you're in debt from this season.
Yes.
You just made $500,000. And unfortunately, Latin players are sending a lot of money home. That's not the unfortunate part.
No.
They're sending money home and they're supporting other people. And then they're going out and buying all the same stuff that the dudes who are making $50, $60 million are buying. And you just can't afford that. Like, it stretches really thin. Greg Zahn once told me, he goes, your career earnings should be about a third. Because your career, if it's 10 years long compared to everybody else, that's a 30-year, 40-year career at their job, you're cutting your earnings in a third. And all of a sudden it makes you realize, yes, you make a lot in a short window, but you're pretty much useless to society after you're done. So all that money is stretched out. So you can't live above your means.
And I'll finish with this. I was always the guy brought up, just always at least offer, whether – you're with that guy or not, or if I'm paying for it or you're paying for the meal, like, hey, what do I owe? You want me to get the tip? Just at least in the back of your mind, you kind of know, like, when you go out with these certain guys, excuse me, they're going to take care of it. But even if they're like, hey, man, you got this? Sure. Like, it's great even hanging out with you. I didn't mind that at all.
I feel like it's pretty obvious in some cases where, a guy's been in the leagues for a while and been in the big leagues for a while and he's made money, and then it's like, here comes the league minimum guy or whatever, like you're mentioning, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
obviously I'm handling this bad boy.
Yep.
But it doesn't work like that always, right?
Not always.
Not always.
Hey, everybody's gone through this. That's why it's such a great story. It's relatable. Oh my gosh, I have plenty of stories in my life where I'm definitely like, I don't like Venmo, all that. So I'm just like, I got it. I'll Venmo. Nah, I'm good. But I'm saying like where I've had a dinner, somebody and their dad, I'm out with both of them. They're dumb, rich in banking. And then it's 2 and 1. And they're like, so split. And I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, jeez.
What?
Yeah.
Like I'm picking up what? Like I can't.
Right.
Hey,
So it's 50-50 with 3 and 1 on one side with 2 and me.
That you speak up.
But you speak up?
I'd be like, hey.
I do actions. Like I'm not doing that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not
take it
doing
back.
that dinner again.
I wouldn't take it.
It felt weird. I'm like, whatever. I don't care for that one time period.
Yeah, right.
But I don't feel like I should be paying for someone who's got, 1,000x my worth or more, whatever.
You're overpowered at the table. Like I wouldn't have dinner with them again. That it would just.
I have it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that would probably be my thing. And the last argument I have, like with people, and you guys might think this is wrong, but nobody carries cash anymore. Like I go to a restaurant with my boys and their wives, like 4 or 5 couples. Say the bill's $100 each. Just say, I put, 100 and whatever, 30, 40 bucks with the tip. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing? They're like, just put your card down. And I have had arguments with this guy every time. I'm like, bro, I'm carrying cash. You could take my cash or not. I'm putting the bill on. I'm getting out of here. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you carry cash?
I always carry cash.
Yeah. How about you?
I do not carry cash anymore.
But you
I
don't.
barely. Most of the time, I don't even have a wallet anymore. Obviously, if I'm going to dinner or something, but I mean,
I got
everything.
Yeah. And I do
in
that
most
too.
cases,
I do
I'd
that
rather
too.
just
But at a
cover it.
restaurant, like, you get a
restaurant.
valet.
You going with 10 people, all that. Well, we just do that. If everyone's just like whatever, just flip the cards.
Like, I just think of what happens when you go to a nice place. Maybe there's a valet service. Maybe there's other things.
That's actually one of the last ones. And most valets, though, now do have a QR code, so you can
seriously
smack that.
Well,
Yep.
You live in New York. You know all that.
Yeah, of course. I'm almost 40. There's people younger than me that have never seen a freaking nickel in their life. I'm telling you.
They don't know why money's laying around. They're like, I wonder if that can go in my Venmo.
You got to do it. So anyway, all right. We'll swing back, FT fam. Obviously, if you've experienced any of these stories or anything you liked from the story, comment below. Let us know. But that was pretty cool. Well done by Britt Giroli. Really good story. Here we go. We're back, baby. We doing BetMGM Locks here? Welcome back.
Let's lock
I
it.
thought we were. No, we're not. We're doing that next segment. Sorry. So think about it for another moment. Just let everyone in on a little something. I got in tangent. I looked down. There's 30 messages in our messenger. I'm like, I don't know where we are right now.
Sometimes they come quick.
The longest, the largest message grouping that we've ever had, because it's
I just scroll back. I'm like,
financial.
I don't know what life is. I'm just telling our whole team. There's 30 messages in here. We were just rolling, and I looked down, and I'm like, I don't know anything.
Everybody was telling stories about their financial,
right.
Different
so
people.
I'm like, what are we
I remember
actually doing today?
Being the taco batter.
Yeah.
Oh,
You get free tacos. When I was in AAA, I had two kids making the AAA minimum, which was $2,300 a month.
Yeah.
I use those taco vouchers for free tacos.
You want yours? No, I'll
the
take
stadium goes crazy for a 79-cent taco, and I'm like, I'm eating like 6 of them.
16.
When I go. Easy peasy.
Hey, real quick tweet from John Heyman. David Robertson could help about 30 teams. Makes no sense. He's out of work.
Easily.
We don't harp on this for too long. There's not too many guys, obviously, at this point.
No.
We're a few weeks into the season. But he probably stands out the most at this point. I always like to know what the line is. We had Lance Lynn on our show yesterday, and he said my line was that I was getting 1 year, $4 million, not worth it for me. take the money part out.
Yep.
He's not pitching forever. He's with his fam. He's probably got a boosted up portfolio from all the money he's got in the bank.
Yep.
For him, a full season at $4 million, which is 2 with taxes probably for more. Well, I don't know where he's living. Whatever.
Yeah.
Was not worth it for him. Double that, he's in. Half a season at 4 sounded like he was in.
Yeah.
You want to hit him that in July if you need him. So what's David
After
Robertson
July 4th.
after July 4th? He wants to experience July 4th. What is David Robertson asking for that teams are not agreeing to?
I'll come up with it.
Yeah, he's going to come. He's the numbers guy. But for me, I'm going to say first and foremost, David's his own agent. Okay. So that's actually really cool. First, if people didn't know that, we've talked about it before, that he's come up with his own stuff. He's very smart. He's very articulate. He's a guy that goes by what he likes to do. And at the end of the day, he's looking for a number probably around 6 or 7.
New segment and new little fancy intro. Let us know if you like it. The good, the bad, and the ugly from the week. Also gives us a chance to hit a few stories that we might not have gotten to. So let's start with the good. I'm going to go first here. Jarren Duran revealed some stories or some mental health struggles that he was going through via story with that new documentary that's coming out with the Red Sox. And it's probably the best part, as most people say, about the documentary, because they're covering like a mid-team last year. There's not a lot going on. This is the stuff that they were looking for, and it has really resonated in the sports world. So I give a ton of credit to Jarren for telling people about this. And it's not like this was 10 years ago. This was a few years ago. He is a major league ball player. He's struggling with some things in life and off the field. And then, you know what's not making it help? His play on the field, people coming after him, right? He's probably getting all kinds of crap on social media. He's hearing it from fans, and it was getting to him. So did you see it? What did you think of the way that he laid that out?
I was so against the Netflix thing. I'm like, when they brought it out and everything, this story alone makes the Netflix entire, whatever they do with the rest of the documentary, 100% worth it.
Yep.
When this came out, they had 3 times the amount of calls to the crisis hotline.
Yes.
For suicide crisis hotline. That alone, you save one person's life by telling your story. This isn't the good. This is the great. And it is hard for somebody to say this, let alone to tell other people that aren't like necessarily close to you. So for Jarren to say this and have that connection or allow people to have that connection, it's awesome. It is awesome because everybody deals with struggles differently, and you're not weak if you deal with struggles in this way. If you have those thoughts, talk to somebody about it. And he put that out there. It saved his life. It saved his life. You're not going to be a better baseball player. You're going to be a better person if you go and talk to somebody, because other people deal with this stuff. Good for him. Great for Netflix. Like, I wish they would have just released this episode a long time ago, because if it saves one person, it is worth all the hassle, all the work that they put into it.
Yeah, and I think, to kind of wrap it up, like playing with him for the Olympics, he was in the qualifying matches in Port St. Lucie. We had such a good time, and you don't know what anybody's going through. People could put on the front, they could smile all day. You don't know inside exactly what they're feeling. I thought, at the end of the day, he's such a good kid. He's a great guy. I could talk to him now. We have conversations. We joke about everything. But I kind of wish I knew a little bit more, because I would have loved to talk to him and help him out. But at the same time, for him to come out, man, this is absolutely a miracle, man, because he's saved a bunch of lives now too as well. So, I mean, if that number is just one, that's great. That's a monster number to me when it comes to this situation.
Yep. So I'm glad we got a few minutes there. A lot of respect for him. One more on the good. This is kind of the crazy. They talked about it last night. It's from an article with Matt Gelb, who writes on the Phillies and the Athletic. Jose Alvarado's day starts with 6 espresso shots. 6.
Tell me about that. I don't drink coffee. No, I'm not a coffee man.
I'm not a coffee expert because I'm a late bloomer.
You're a coffee
Fiend.
No, I know, but I haven't been doing it my whole
Fiend.
life, and my
Fiend.
tolerance is a little bit low. So I was told that, like, oh, I'm such a rookie with my, 1 or 2 shots of espresso. 6 to me sounds insane. And I told people this, like, I tried to poll some people about it, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, no, not throughout the whole day, right? Because, like, you have mornings, at night. I'll do a pre-workout, just coffee instead of anything else, right? I'm like, no, that's how he starts his day. With 6, a banger 6 to start. To me, that seems like a lot, but maybe I'm off.
If you put it all in one cup, does it taste like? Does an espresso taste?
Well, you can counter it. I mean,
Milk.
you're saying if it's just espresso shots, yeah, you can just dump that in and
Six of them.
Is it Cuban coffee?
Yeah.
Screwed up.
Cuban coffees.
I'm saying,
His
like,
teeth would be rotted out.
I'll
Hey.
do some nut milk, almond
Listen.
milk or oat milk or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe, sugar it up if you're
Yeah,
into that.
They did.
He
He did.
What did I do?
No.
Anyway.
That's their time.
Yeah, I know. Just go. Just
What did I
anyway,
do?
go
Did I
ahead.
interrupt you?
No,
Nothing.
not
No,
at
no,
all.
no,
We'll
no,
tell
you're
you.
fine, you're
We'll
fine.
talk later.
Yeah, Go ahead.
Is it my
Espresso.
nut milk?
No.
It is. I knew it.
Hey, at the end of the day, I hate to be his forehead. When he stops drinking this, the headache he's going to have for a day and a half or 2 days.
He's
for
never
not
gonna
having to
stop.
have it. Well, once he does, if he goes, you know what, I'm going to take that off. That next day headache, the caffeine headache, oh my God. Espresso, splitting. That was good. That was good.
Did you say
I would
I
be
got-
in the
I got-
hospital if I did
I
6
gotta write that
right
one
now.
down.
Not literally, but I'd be thumping
Yeah.
too much. I mean, yeah, sometimes I do. I think my career high that I remember is maybe like 4-ish for a game where it went pretty quick, and I was like, I'm calling a game, and I called the game, and it was a 4-hour game, and I remember I was on the phone with someone after, and I was like, I don't remember anything.
My
I was
mouth
like,
is moving. I can't
actually
control
blacked out. I was like, I don't know anything I just said in that conversation. For 4 hours, I do not know. Like, you could have told me, hey, dude, you got canceled 90 times. You got fired. You got this, that. Like, I have no idea what I just said.
And you were like, that was great. That was unbelievable. And it was
Yeah.
unbelievable. I saw the game. I saw everything. Everything was just slowed down for me.
And I had a
Your
headache, all
cheek
that.
muscles.
So,
Oh, the
whatever.
headache's the worst.
I could throw down some other beverages, but,
But it's-
6
but it's-
espresso shots.
Like,
That's
people are
tough.
like, oh, there's no way it's true. You are not getting a tattoo of a small cup
Yeah, a mug.
unless that's life. He said
Oh.
coffee is life.
He did. He did say that.
That's real.
Yeah,
This dude throws $1 billion too.
he does. He sits down with kids and goes, let me teach you a little something about life. And it starts with coffee. All right, let's hit the bad. Anyone want to throw one out first? I have a good one. I'll start. You got to be quick. Otherwise, I'm going.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
You got one?
Mine was the Pittsburgh thing with the Clemente sign in
Mhm.
the outfield. That was. I mean,
Whoa. They doubled down on it.
Yeah, they did.
What
Did
is
you see the
going?
bricks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
They had
we didn't
bricks
talk
that-
about this. There was a brick
Oh
component.
my god.
So you're talking about the one on the wall,
Yeah.
the Clemente
We
one.
covered that.
Then they were like, oh, wait, we're going to pile all these bricks that people had their names on them to raise money for the Roberto Clemente Foundation in a pile. It was construction. They had to do construction. Like, are you kidding me? They don't even have any more foots to shoot. And we're not even talking about baseball things. We're talking
Yeah.
about like life and like organizational just decision making.
When someone gives money to a team, or they do this at theaters a lot, right outside of theaters for a brick, and it's usually going to charity. If you are getting rid of those bricks, and for a fine cause, it sounded like they said they're recycling them and then going to put new ones in or whatever. Okay, no one's going to complain about that. You need to let someone know. I mean, preferably you need to let them all know. Send an email blast out. That needs to go out somewhere publicly, so people just don't show up and go, "Where's my brick for life? It's gone."
It's in a pile.
It seems like an easy communication process, and there are a number of ways to do it, right?
and people
Even if you were too lazy to send the email out, if you're like, I don't have the info for everyone, then you need to put that out on social media. So at least it's been known, and people know that if they did enough telephone and asked someone, they'd be like, oh, they put something out there. They're going to make it even nicer. They're fixing things up. Okay, no problem. But you had people calling like, yo, my brick's gone.
Come get your brick. Like,
You can't do that. You just can't do that.
my thing is, and maybe this is thinking too deep into it, workers were doing this. And if your workers, like, they're considered lower level employees than a sales rep, a president, all those people. aren't able to have enough of a voice in an organization to say, whoa, people, like, we're getting rid of a historic sign to put up a Surfside beverage? Like did somebody had to have raised a question on that. Somebody had to have had a question. Like, why are we getting rid of these bricks? These have people's names on them. And somebody goes, hey, don't say anything. Do your work. Like, that ain't right either.
I just think it's hilarious in today's world that you think you could get away with taking down 21 and also not being transparent about it and thinking that that wasn't going to get flagged.
Well, they put that money that they got from Surfside into a free agent.
That's fine.
Wait,
Let
actually,
me know.
Let
me know about that. Yeah, because I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Good try.
But that's the thing is, like, you really thought you were going to just pull a fast one?
Who made
That's
that
not
decision?
oversight.
I would love to know.
That is,
Not
you knew
oversight.
what you were doing. That was
They
bad.
They were hoping it would go over fine because they even said, oh, we built the wall to be 21 feet and there's 2 21s on the wall. So you were like, we have enough. That's what
They said it was enough.
It was enough.
This was an add-on after COVID or whatever, so we're just taking it back off. Can't do that.
Nope.
And again, transparency is key here. People just want to know what's going on. One more on this category. Actually, let's put this in the ugly. We'll finish with this. Cody Bellinger was just heading back to the hotel looking for a good time to watch some March Madness games, and he was puking. The wings did not sit, and he said it was so bad, he's done with wings, and he put a time limit on it for 5 years. 5-year ban on wings for Cody, who missed. Did he miss a game from that? Yeah,
He did.
but he was ill. He was feeling it. That's ugly.
I've never heard of it from wings. I guess the chicken, yeah.
Like raw?
Yeah,
Like
not
raw?
cooked.
Like
You
sushi?
can't
Chicken
mess
sushi?
up.
That's tough.
Some chicken sushi.
Yeah.
Hey, that's tough. I mean, it's ugly because the ugliness is what came out of his mouth. So, especially during, March Madness time. Come on, dog. I mean,
You're upset about him missing the games?
I am. I'm upset about that. But yeah, that's tough.
I know he didn't get it from the clubhouse. Man,
5 years
about
is tough. I've gone.
Talk about some spread. Talk about some spread in the Yankees clubhouse. He was not getting. Actually, they might have been on the road in Detroit.
Yeah, they were on the road.
That's when he got sick?
Yep, it was in
Yeah.
Detroit.
The row
I don't know. Big league spreads can't have raw chicken wings. I don't think that's where it came from.
Nope.
But man, that's tough.
And you miss a game out of it, and also it usually takes a few days at least to
That's
just
Okay.
recover, feel
one
better.
game never matters in in playoff standings, do they?
Yeah, nobody ever makes the playoffs by one game, right?
Wonder if he's at the point where he like sees or smells wings. Like if he got like honey barbecue wings, and he's like,
It's like the guy with the nut allergy
Like
on
it
the
said-
plane. No
it
nuts.
said, you smell it, and you're like, nope, can't do it.
I still remember when I was in middle school, a certain sub place food poisoned me, and it was so bad for a few days. I know the brand; they still exist. I'm not going to call them out.
There's only 2.
And
no,
you went.
there's a lot. This one's a little more out there, but they used to be big.
I'm kidding.
I love Jersey Mike's, but it's not them. They weren't around 25 years ago. But after that, I was like, I'm never having that again. Also, the type of sub I had, I was like, never touching that again. Never again. It was so bad. I'm just like, I'm
Like
out
you
on that.
still have like a.
Yeah.
adverse
I have something right
reaction.
now. I mean, a year ago, I got sick off pad thai from a place that I had gone to multiple times, and I was like, year suspension off pad thai. I'm back
5
on.
years?
I'm back. No, it was
Okay.
a 1 year. It was
So-
a 1 year suspension.
Easier.
I just got back on. I had my first pretty recently.
Okay.
Actually, didn't feel great after that one either. So might dock on another 6
It's
months.
making me hungry.
What is a pad thai? What'd you say?
Pad thai? You know what pad thai
No,
is?
what's that?
What?
Is it chicken? What is it?
What?
Well, it could be chicken. It could be shrimp.
Yeah, like
Pad thai?
You never Thai food. You've had
Thai
Thai food.
Yeah. I'm not
no,
a
he
Thai
hasn't
guy.
had Thai food.
No, here we go.
No.
They're not
Uh-uh.
doing Thai food down here, and
No.
honestly, and I can speak because I'm a Jersey guy too. They weren't doing it well in my neck of the woods.
Clearly.
either.
All right, thank you.
Clearly.
Pad
Yeah.
thai.
You got to be
All
in
right.
You got to be in a
certain
city.
cities. Yeah,
All right,
That-
pad thai it up.
there's certain Asian food that really gets botched in the suburbs. Let's just put it
Peanut
that
butter
way.
noodles. Okay.
Also, what is Jersey's best? What do they do best for? Like, if you're going to a restaurant
Bagels
for dinner. Well, that's for
Well,
breakfast.
I mean,
Come
like
on,
a
there's one category.
pizza,
Yeah,
Italian. Yeah.
That's their
meatballs,
bread
chicken
and butter.
parms, yes, all day.
Yeah. I mean, there were some towns growing up that only had Italian restaurants because they would just dominate and they were better than everything else. What are we talking about? All right, we'll be right back. If you liked that segment, good, bad, and ugly from the week, where if we missed anything or just want to shout something out, let us know and we'll keep it running. Trying to switch it up, keep the marriage exciting. Be right back.
Pad time.
BetMGM Locks. I'm cold. I basically said last night, I was like, I'm cold and I don't feel good about this.
Then why did you
6
do
runs.
it?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't feeling good because sometimes what happens is a Thursday is the perfect day. We don't have many options.
Mm-hmm.
We're picking from 2 games. I need variety to feel good about a lock. Kratz doesn't. He won. Red Sox picked up a shaky dub there. We can talk about it for a minute because we'll do our picks in a few minutes from now. AJ lost on his parlay, but
both sides of it.
We're all suddenly down, not by much. You're going to get the early
Maybe.
season up and down action.
That's a lot of
you know what's funny? I swear this just happened.
Here he goes again.
See that one of those trophies that's over there at the other side? It was blocking the 2. So my eyes literally right now, in my view, say Kratz is down 40, but he's actually down 402.
Oh, man. Kratz, again. Here he goes. He's going to do this again.
Do what again?
You're going to keep going worse and worse. You're not good at this. Figure it out.
No. I'm like,
No,
I'm
Kratz is
trying to
good.
find my lane.
No, he's not.
You figure it out the first couple weeks of the season.
I like how you're doing the one gamers. Stay away from the doubles.
Todd,
Do you
just
remember?
make your calls.
Do you
Let
remember
me
what
make
happened
money off
last
of
year?
you, and I'll go my 50-50, okay?
Big bucks if you do win. I'll give you credit.
Give me a minute on the Red Sox walk-off yesterday because this is the spot where we'll give them some love. I mean, Andres Jimenez fumbling a baseball for the first time in his life.
That'd have been a tough play.
Yeah.
It was a nubber off the end. Hey, listen, people are like, oh, they got lucky. I don't care. You won the game. People are nuts, bro. I don't care how you win a game. This could kickstart you.
Also, Walker Buehler was
You
pretty
might not
damn
agree.
good.
Walker Buehler was great. Jarren Duran's doing great. Like, they got some boys. Bregman is tearing the cover off the ball.
Bassett's been killing it.
Oh,
for
my
the Jays.
God, too.
Free agent after this year, too. But anyway, either way, if you watch, because I was watching the game live, if you watch the Trevor Story at bat, to actually put some wood on a slider where it was, good. That was difficult because who was in the game? Was it Sandlin? No, not Sandlin. Anyway, submarine sidearm slider that was just sweeping. It was starting at his front knee and breaking off the plate. He got
filthy.
down 0-2. Yes, he put the ball in play like you need it. You need it. That's it.
That's it.
It was a big win.
Put the ball in play.
Every win in the big leagues matters.
It was Sandlin.
Okay.
Hot corner, let's sizzle. Weekend preview. Big matchups. What do we like?
Easy for me. You want me to go first?
Are you going to say Yankees?
No.
I actually think Yankees-Giants is pretty good. But yeah,
I think it's – so we're talking about what game we want to watch, or are we talking about –
series or a game. Yeah, I mean, people just want to know. It's Friday. What am I kicking back and watching?
Man.
A lot of people don't look at schedules until basically right around when the games are starting. I've actually heard a lot of players don't have any clue who they're playing even like a day later at times. Some know everything and some know nothing.
You got to be prepared. You got to put your scouting report together. I'm on the plane looking at the
That's you.
next team. Like,
Yeah.
you better know who are. But hey, maybe not.
Okay.
I need to see the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Are the Blue Jays for real taking 3 or 4 from a team that a lot of people have picked to be in the lead in the American League East in Boston? And the O's need to show me something. They're going to Missouri, the show me state. They're going home. They're not going to Missouri. But they need to show me something. So to me, it's an AL East matchup that right now, 2 teams are at different spots. The Jays coming off a high, and the Orioles figuring out, wait, like we got to like sweep a series to get back to 500.
Good luck.
You said a lot of people are expecting who to be good in the AL East, the Orioles or the Blue Jays?
No, the Red Sox, because
the
Blue
Red
Jays
Sox. Yes.
almost swept the Red Sox.
Yes.
They got 3 of 4 from the Red Sox, and nobody saw that coming because you think, okay, the Red Sox, they're at home, they're in Fenway, they're going to take the Blue Jays down. And they didn't. The Blue Jays came in and they were like, nah, Vladdy's getting all the meals. He's paying for everything after his new $500 million contract.
I feel like they calmed everybody
and the
down.
Jays, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
See.
I never really felt like anything different. If I've never been on a team where somebody got $500 million, but like you just go out and play anyway. But they made it. They proved a point. They beat the Red Sox 3 out of 4. Can they do the same thing and go into Camden Yards and do the same thing? To me, that's a big series.
Shigano tonight against Bowden Francis.
Who's been pretty good.
Good.
Bowden
And Shigano, too. Shigano's got a 2. Don't quote me. I think he's got like a 2.6. 2.89.
Okay.
1-1, 2.89. Hasn't been striking anybody out.
No.
I get it. Relax.
Which is, I guess, not his game, right?
It's not going to be his game unless he develops something that we don't see, but he's got an ERA. He doesn't give up runs.
Yeah.
Bowden Francis has been much better, but it'll be interesting.
You never told us what
Royals,
series you want.
Guardians. I want to
Okay.
see Guardians coming off a really nice series, even though they played a really bad team. But I want to see where these two stack up early in the season here, because these are two favorites in their division. And we'll see where they're at in Cleveland and see if Bobby Witt could keep the line moving, low-scoring wins. So not many runs by those Royals, but when they do, they click on all cylinders.
Let's see what Robbie Ray looks like tonight against Marcus Stroman.
Rabbi.
Are the Giants real? Can they?
Good litmus test here. Coming
Oh,
up.
litmus,
Weird
man.
series against the Reds. Blanked a couple times. Great walk-off comeback in the last one.
You have to score runs. You go and play the Yankees, your defense isn't going to bring balls back out of the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to score runs. Robbie Ray's going to have to be one of the guys. I mean, you think about that rotation, Verlander's not going to step up and be an ace. And I don't think they got him for that. They got him to make 32 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Webb's your ace. He's your shutdown guy. Although he's had some trouble against the Yankees hit sinker ball guys, so you can't lean on him to get you that automatic dub. They have to score runs.
And don't let
They're built on defense.
Yeah, don't let Wilmer Flores hit in the ninth inning. Either, please.
Yeah, if you're the Yankees.
I've seen it done
Or just
5
be-
times with
be
the
careful,
Mets. No, don't be
right?
careful. Put 4 up and walk him.
Really?
The guy is unbelievable.
The numbers say it.
Bro, he told me and our assistant hitting coach, he was literally in the batting cage. I was in there with him, and they told him, hey, Frey, shit, we got Wilmer. I said, all right, great, whatever. And Wilmer's like, game's over. Walked out of the batting cage, hit a homer, wrapped around the foul pole. Came in, he's like, Frey, I told you game
Is that
over.
a real story?
Real story.
He said game's over
He said,
to you?
game's over. Walk off homer. Pinch hit. It was like a 15-pitch at bat, too. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Foot down. Clip.
Yeah, this now he's doing like this thing,
Yo,
where it's like
it's
out here,
incredible.
and then he goes, zip,
Hey, he's
and his swing is so short. To the
short.
ball.
Oh my, and he's really tall too. People, I
Sneaky tall.
sneaky tall guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Wilmer.
High butt.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Bye-bye.
curious here. Let's continue this for a moment.
Walk him.
He was a big deal prospect with the Mets. It's been a minute. It
Yeah.
was way back in the day at this point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's been in the
Remember
league
he
probably
was
for
crying
10
when
years.
he was about to get traded.
Yep.
Remember?
The Milwaukee, Gomez, that whole
He was
deal,
young.
right? Why can't he do this all the time? Why is he so good in the clutch spots? You know, some people are
Some
like,
people live for that stuff. Is there a clutch gene? We've talked about
does he
that
have
before.
something here? I
Something
mean, he's
just
not a
locked
bad
in.
player. He's a good player.
No, he's a good
but
player. He's
in
a good
clutch
fit.
situations, and now he's getting attention for it because it's been going on for a long time. He's insane.
He's-
Guys that I've talked to that are good in the clutch and aren't good. He's still a good player,
Yeah.
but aren't as good
Yeah.
other times. They complicate facing starters. Starters got 3 or 4 pitches. I got to try to hit all of them. I'm not saying this is what he's doing. I'm saying what I've seen, what I've witnessed. They're trying to hit every single pitch. He's got a curveball. He's got a slider. He's got a changeup. Well, like sit on one pitch
Yep.
that he throws 60% of the time. Bullpen guys come in, heater, slider. He's not ever going to go to the slider because it's a lefty, or he's always going to go to the
Yeah.
slider because And the clutch dudes that do that and aren't as good consistently, that to me, that is what is the separator. And it's like, so why doesn't he do that all the time? It's not that easy for everybody.
No, it's not.
But he is clutch.
Oh.
I said it the other day. He's tied with Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, 13 walk-offs since they've both been in the league.
It's incredible. Game over, he told us.
Crazy.
You know,
All right.
you know.
Yeah, you got to be careful
just
when
know.
you're facing Wilmer. Let's swing back with slap hands coming up next. BetMGM Locks. Toddfather said, Kratz, I need you to stick to just one pick right now. Don't parlay me.
And there
And
he
what
goes.
did you say?
I said, screw you, Todd. Stay
Whoa,
in your
whoa,
lane.
whoa, whoa.
Let me make my money off of you. I'm just going easy.
Yeah.
I locked
That's
this in
not
last
easy.
night. I
It's
locked
not
it in
easy.
last night like I locked
not
in my
easy.
Red Sox one from 2 nights ago, the night before. I'm going San Diego money line, Boston money line. San Diego's going to take down the Rockies. Boston's going to take down the White Sox. It gets me a plus 128. I'm not going bananas crazy.
You're doing the
parlay.
classic pick on them while they're downs.
I'm gonna
Right?
I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna do it for you, and if it wins, I'm gonna come in here next week and say I apologize. But these don't ever hit. And all right, anyway,
That's not true. They don't never.
I need
The
consistency.
Rockies and White Sox are going to give you 100 losses.
We'll see.
It's just, will
I
they
am
happen
going
on
to
the
put
same
my
night?
house on it. Okay.
Will they happen on the same night? What do you
I'm
got?
kidding. I'm going back to Sacramento. Mets are playing the Sacramento. What a name. Sacramento A's. Runs have been going on these minor league fields a lot. I know yesterday it was a 3-2 or 2-1 game, whatever it was. But I really think right now the Mets and the A's are going to put up a lot of runs in Sacramento. Say about 13 or 14 runs, over 9.5, 200.
So for the two together, not
Together,
just a
yeah,
team
team-
one. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
total.
So, yeah. not
Total for the game.
The Mets and the A's together.
Whew, I was
Over
like,
9.5.
golly,
That
I
was
I
need more
good.
looked
than
should be a
initially
plus.
down.
I
I'm
need
like,
more than
Mets over 9.5 should be like plus 700-800.
Yeah, that's a big boy bet.
I might have to do it now.
Yeah, I'll go. Tigers are almost even money with Reese Olson against David Festa for the Twins,
Oh.
minus 105. Give me 315 to win 300, please.
Mhm.
Happy Friday, everyone. Tigers are a better team with better end of the pitching matchup. Sometimes you look at that and you're like, what am I missing? Sometimes you're not missing anything. Here's your home run boost token. You can use that token and bet on any player to hit a home run in any MLB game. That's available on the app. You'll score a bigger payout if that player goes yard. Go check it out on the BetMGM app or at betmgm.com. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's slap next.
Slap 'em.
All right, let's slap.
Okay.
First off, obviously, if you're in the chat, you can do that on the YouTube channel, and you can watch even if you're watching on TV and you want to ask us questions and all of that. Christopher in the chat is not always saying nice things, and I'm pointing it out right now. This is the second day I think we're talking about him, but this will be the last. Christopher, if I see more mean things, you're going to get put in timeout, but I will ask your question to the guys. He said, if you're the Orioles, would you rather have Santander or Tyler O'Neill on your team right now? You think it's close? I love me some Muscles Marinara,
Yeah.
Tyler O'Neill, but Anthony Santander.
was so good last year.
It was a beast.
Also, don't go off. I don't even care what their numbers are the first few weeks.
No,
It's back
I'm
to the
just-
baseball card action. Anthony Santander was the heart and soul of the lineup last year, both in the dugout and, of course, on the field with his 40-something dingers. So I'm taking Santander.
He did strike out 3 times yesterday, though.
Good for him.
I'm
I struck
kidding.
out 3 times.
Listen, all good.
last
Agreed.
night.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hundy on that one.
Right?
I'm taking Santander, but I can see the question. I think everybody's enamored by the what if. What if Tyler O'Neill? O'Neill's gonna have a better on base percentage.
Mm-hmm.
What if he gets a full healthy season? Well, it's 34 homers in 130 games one year. Like, there's definitely a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
I like the consistency of Santander. Santander's had some seasons like this too. I feel like he's starting to keep his consistency at a higher level. I think it's closer than you think.
Okay.
I think it's closer than you think. But for the Orioles team, I think it's Santander for sure.
Right.
Just because they know him. I'm not saying everyone's spoken super highly of Tyler O'Neill, but the dudes loved him. He succeeded there. He knows how to play in Baltimore. I would have to say Santander.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When you look at Santander at so many deferrals, the numbers for those two are actually a little closer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Kratz hats, we got a minute.
I mean,
Clean.
sneaky 500 team right now.
That's
true.
pretty clean.
The Marlins, very clean. I mean, it's
that
hard to see.
shade of blue, though, is really working. It's even better in person from what it looks like on TV right now.
And there's a lot of
Show the right side,
reds.
too.
Agreed.
There's reds. There's the blackish sharp. Everything together,
Nice.
it's legit.
Yep. Hey,
Yeah, it's real deal.
Monday, we'll see everyone for regular Foul Territory, 1 to 3 Eastern. And then a few hours later, we're going to call the Pirates-Nationals game with some help from friends on playback. The game is free to log in, and you need an MLB TV account. Guess what? It's the free game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
There is zero money exchange. You just need an account, and it is an altcast. It's the real game. No bootleg action, okay? Check it out with us. And word on the street, Paul Skeens. Not on the show, but kind of on the show because we're going to watch him.
He's lined up. He's lined up for it. I might call in live from the stadium.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah. Erik Kratz with his first sideline reporter experience Monday.
Freezing.